Good evening. First tonight, Jersey's top politicians are under fire for failing to support the island's serving military and veterans. A Freedom of Information request by ITV channel has revealed that a government group which was set up to help them didn't meet for 5 of the 7 years after its formation. And it doesn't end there. When we asked the government how much money had been spent supporting them and how many veterans there are on the island, well, they didn't know. Now, one local charity says it's time the promises to support the armed forces and their families are honoured. Alex Spiceley has been investigating for us.
Each year we remember those who've paid the ultimate price for our freedom. But today it's feared that those who fought beside them have been forgotten.
In 2014, politicians introduced a covenant promising to look out for the military both during and after their service, and a government-led group was set up to hear their concerns. It was meant to meet up twice a year. Yet while papers were signed and hands were shook, the groups only met 9 times.
3 times in 2015 and 5 times in 2017. Then, after a 4-year gap, they met in January, exactly 1 month after we asked for this information. It means there's no voice for people like Keith and the community he serves.
The reason it's so important for the government to look after veterans is because we've been to places you don't want to go to. We've seen things you don't want to see. It makes us feel that we're not looked after and we're not thought about. You've seen people being blown up. You've seen people being shot. Your mate standing next to you was shot and his head was taken off. We look after the community by being in those places so the war doesn't break out again.
The now Home Affairs Minister couldn't explain why meetings hadn't been held, but he did have this message.
I'm sorry that they were not heard by the government. I really hope that our local services now are geared towards helping veterans more than they did in the past.
Charities say veterans need to be understood and supported when asking for help from Social Security or accessing the island's mental health services, something Keith says is now on their shoulders because those in crisis can't wait for treatment.
The waiting list is so long, so therefore they can't get the immediate help that they need. Some people do go to their GPs and they then have to wait for the referral. 4, 5, 6, perhaps 10 of the people I've seen who have referred need it there and then because they're in a right mess and they don't know what to do. When I was a police officer, I dealt with an ex-serviceman who killed himself because he couldn't cope any longer. Let's go for it, shall we? Let's do it properly and get these people to therapy. We're here for them, but it's the government who need to do that first.
While progress has been made in a meeting earlier this month, it's clear more could be done. And whether it's making sure the government know about veterans and understand their needs, accessing some of the £30 million set aside for veterans in the UK's covenant, or knowing how many veterans there are in Jersey, the armed forces community want action now. Alex Spiceley, ITV News.
Well, we'll continue to follow that story here on ITV channel and bring you any developments as and when they happen.